The end of Haley's campaign further cements the likelihood of a Trump-Biden rematch in November.
And voters have some concerns, among them, age. A couple of recent polls show Americans are concerned about age this presidential election. A Reuters Ipsos poll found that 78% of respondents, including 71% of Democrats, think Joe Biden is too old to work in government. 53% think Donald Trump's too old. A Quinnipiac poll from mid-February showed 67% of registered voters think Biden is too old to effectively serve another term. 57% said the same of Trump. And the February 8th special counsel report on Biden's handling of classified documents likely didn't ease the public's concerns, finding that criminal charges were unwarranted. The report included instances of Biden's faulty memory, saying the president could not recall, quote, even within several years when his oldest son died, concluding that, quote, at trial, Mr. Biden would likely present himself to a jury, as he did during our interview of him, as a sympathetic, well-meaning, elderly man with a poor memory. Biden called a press conference to angrily refute the report's bad memory narrative.
Your age,
that is your judgment. That is your judgment.
But during that same press conference, the president confused the leaders of Mexico and Egypt.
As you know, initially, the president of Mexico, Sisi, did not want to open up the gate to allow humanitarian material to get in.
So, should the public be concerned that the likely nominees for president are 81-year-old Joe Biden and 77-year-old Donald Trump? Well, I went to an expert to find out. Dr. Carrie Levy is the head of geriatrics at CU School of Medicine. Does age alone tell you a person's health status or cognitive status?
No.
What does age alone tell you?
Age alone tells you chronologic age. It really is one dimension of a person's health.
If Biden wins a second term, he would be the oldest person ever elected president. If Trump wins this time, he would be the oldest person ever elected president. Now, currently, the oldest men ever elected president, Joe Biden and Donald Trump. So let's take a look at that word, old. What age is considered old?
None. I mean, none. You can't give it a great definition. There are 90-year-olds who are active, engaged, rocking and rolling, and there are 50-year-olds who are not.
Dr. Levy says it's not about lifespan, but health span, how healthy you are, and that there is no age you can definitively say this age is too old for whatever.
There's no number.
It's all context and health.
I can think of a 50-year-old who has a chronological age of 50 and a physiologic age of 80. I can think of an 80-year-old who has a chronologic age of 80 and a physiologic age of 50. So there is absolutely no age.
But what about the gaffes? Biden confused the leaders of Mexico and Egypt. In January, Trump appeared to confuse Nikki Haley with Nancy Pelosi. Should this concern voters? Well, not necessarily, says Levy.
It's not one moment in time. We all have moments in time, and we tend to have those moments when we're anxious, when we're under stress.
None of this is to persuade or dissuade you in this election, but to show that experts say age doesn't necessarily line up with stereotype. And Dr. Levy ends with this insight.
The longer you've lived, the healthier you've been. So the fact that you're 80 means a lot of good things have happened before 80.